Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday News right here on 3FM 92.7. We come to you live from our studios here at Adesawe Kanda in Accra and our numerous affiliates across the country. We're also live on all our social media platforms on Facebook and on X. Coming up this afternoon, disbursement of no-fee stress starts ahead of policy launch today. We're live at the University of Ghana campus to speak to some students. Also, school feeding program secretariat ramps up monitoring efforts following complaints of quality and quantity of meals served. Plus, Minister of Education directs the National Inspectorate Board to strictly enforce the ban on mobile phone usage in schools. We have details of these and many more coming up shortly. Do stick and stay. My name is Judith Brown. Welcome back. We start from here. Now, President John Dramani Mahama will this afternoon officially launch the government's no-fee stress education policy in Koforidua in the Eastern region. Well, the initiative is designed to ensure that all level 100 students can access higher education without the burden of tuition fees. Well, the policy provides academic user fee waivers for first-year students enrolled in public universities, colleges of education, and nursing training institutions. Well, so far, over 150,000 students have reportedly accessed the registration portal to take advantage of the initiative. According to the Minister in charge of Government Communications, Felix Kwachiofosu, as of July 3rd, approximately 15,000 students have already received disbursements under the policy. Eastern Regional Correspondent Yvonne Nico is monitoring the launch and joins me live from Koforidua. Yvonne, good afternoon. Now, big day for these tertiary students. Tell us all about the launch of the no-fee stress policy in Koforidua.
Big day, Judith, for the first years in the public university. We're talking about the College of Education, the universities, and all over. Here are the Seventh-day Adventist College, where the ceremony is expected to take place. We're seeing quite a number of students from across the Eastern region representing here to take part of the lunch. I've been speaking to a number of them. For those who indeed yesterday received their alert on their phone, considering the reimbursement, and those who are yet to receive it, they are happy about it. They're looking forward that the policy is sustained, take off the burden from their parents, especially when we know that a number of them do struggle to pay their fees before entering the schools on first-year basis.
Okay, I think it is of high prerogative to have been a beneficiary of this no-fee stress policy. And I think this policy is going to empower students to ascend to high intellectuals and also personal growth and also release of fee-paying stress in Ghana.
I received a message from the JCB Bank, and it was about the no stress fees policy. And it was 1,801.70.32. So we are so excited. Even some of my colleagues, we went to the bank, and for God being so good, we went there and met some of the universities out there, and they received, some of them even received 3,000 and above.
Well, Yvonne, you're still with us. We heard the students, some of them saying that they've received the monies, but they received it personally, or is it going to the school? If you could clarify that for us.
Well, the clarification I had from the student was that the money was received personally on their account. So all of them do have bank accounts on that they registered on the platform with, and so your names are attached to your account, and then you get the reimbursement personally. It doesn't go into the school account. So for them, it was a personal reimbursement they received, and not the school actually.
Oh, okay, so this was the reimbursement, but not necessarily payment of fees as of yet.
So the clarification is that these are the reimbursement of their fees. Students pay the fees to government through the various banks as it were. But when you log on to the portal to be part of this particular policy, your name, your personal account number is credited with your fees. And so for everything students have paid, it has been reimbursed to them. So their fees have been given back to them. So if you're in the training colleges, you're receiving 1,800 and above. If you're in the university, you are receiving 3,000 and above. And so this is the case they've been explaining to me. Quite a number of people are yet to receive theirs, but they're hoping that when all of these are streamlined, they will receive them as soon as possible.
Right, many thanks for your time. Yvonne Nikwe is our Eastern Regional Correspondent. She has been bringing us all the details as regards to the no fee stress policy that is yet to be launched in the Eastern Region. We'll try and connect with a man on the ground at the University of Ghana soon. But first, let's head to the Ashanti region, because following numerous complaints about the inadequate quality and quantity of meals served to pupils and the school feeding program, the Secretariat has ramped up monitoring efforts to assess the situation firsthand in selected beneficiary schools. Well, led by the National Coordinator of the Ghana School Feeding Program, Hajia Fatih Fojo, along with all regional coordinators, a dedicated team has been conducting surprise inspections across various schools over the past few days. Well, the move aims to evaluate caterers' performance and implement necessary improvements to ensure pupils receive nutritious and sufficient meals. Our reporter Ibrahim Abubakar has been monitoring the team and joins us with further insights on this particular subject. Ibrahim, what specific issues have been identified during the inspections, and what immediate measures are being taken to address the concerns?
So basically, it has to do with issue of the quality of food being served to the depots, and also even the quantity. We do know that per head, the cost has been moved from the 1 cedi 50 pesos to 2 cedis. So the Secretariat is now hoping that at least the food that will be served the pupils will be of a certain quality and also a certain quantity. And that is the challenge with some of the schools. In fact, this exercise is just impromptu and is being done simultaneous across most of the beneficiary schools. In fact, they are saying it is basically for them to see things for themselves, and then wherever they identify a gap, they find a way of closing or addressing it. So in some of the schools around there, just so the other schools which the caterers have complied with whatever the Secretariat have given them, they are giving them nutritious meal and also of a certain quantity. Other schools are also not meeting the target, because you look at the food they are serving the kids, you can't eat it yourself. And she's telling them that the food that should be prepared should be a food that any Ghanaian, or including herself, should also be able to have a taste of it. And that is the agreement that they have with them. And there were also issue of who should be given contracts to be able to provide the school. And she's saying that they are looking at people who are competent, people who can deliver, and not necessarily people who are party people, but then they do not have the qualification to be able to deliver the services required of them. So a whole lot of both positive and negative findings that they've gotten on the ground. They said when they get to Accra, they'll find a way of addressing it. But let's listen to what Hajia Fatih.
We'll bring that sound much later. But how will the program ensure consistent quality moving forward?
Well, for now, they said that they will intensify or occasionally be doing this kind of impromptu monitor. At least it will put the caterers on their feet and make sure that they are abiding by it. So whoever is found flouting with the rules, not going by the standard, then you have your contract terminated.
Right, Ibrahim Abubakar, many thanks for your time. He has been bringing us all the details as regards to issues on the school feeding program and the Secretariat right there in the Ashanti region. We're going to do some more stories. The Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu, has directed the National Inspectorate Board to strictly enforce the ban on mobile phone usage in schools. Well, he's calling for tighter regulations to curb the growing trend of students carrying weapons to schools. Addressing the inauguration of governing boards for the National Inspectorate Board and the National Curriculum and Assessment Board in Accra, the minister described the issue of students carrying weapons as a growing threat to safety in schools. Zeno Opoku has more in the following report.
Haruna Idrisu noted that such students pose a serious risk to their peers, creating an unsafe learning environment. He also flagged the use of mobile phones on school campuses as a major concern that has not received adequate enforcement despite existing education regulation that ban it.
We talk about a student having access to a phone in an examination room. It's a no, no, no. And probably we have to even review examiners and supervisors' use of phones, because in some instances, it may be some of them who are aiding the cheating. And therefore, we have to limit who can carry a phone to an exam room. And the relationship between the user of that phone, ordinarily I would have just pronounced a ban. But if the examiner haven't arrived with questions early, somebody must call to say that we don't have the exam questions yet. And if they have to finish and report back, but we expect strict compliance and enforceability on that.
The minister also emphasized the importance of a standardized textbook policy to improve the quality of education delivery across the country.
The best way is the coming generation to grow with love of country and the value of integrity, and to pursue their life endeavors with integrity. We can only do so if we train them early to uphold the highest sense of honesty and integrity, and to know that they can succeed in honesty.
Stakeholders in education have welcomed the call and are expected to begin rolling out new measures in the coming weeks.
Now to some more stories. The Accra High Court has set July 18 to begin the trial of former Director General of the National Signals Bureau, Kwabena Edubuahene, and 3 others standing trial for allegedly stealing 49.1 million cedis from the state. Well, earlier, the court dismissed an application by lawyers of the accused persons demanding the disclosures of the full operational costs or accounts of the national security from 1992 to date. Lord Edu Asare reports.
The request filed by lawyers for Edubuahene, led by Samuel Atachia, was brought before the court on Thursday, June 26. In the motion, the defense team sought comprehensive disclosures of National Security Coordinator's operational accounts spanning the administrations of 6 presidents: Rawlings, Kufuor, Atta Mills, Mahama, Akufo-Addo, and Mahama's present tenure. In his ruling on Thursday, Justice Nyedu Nyante indicated that the defense lawyers hadn't justified why the documents should be disclosed. He therefore dismissed the application, adding that the full ruling could be applied for on Monday, July 7. Reacting to the ruling, Atachia requested a brief adjournment to allow the defense to review the decision.
How was it that they were able to bring President Akufo-Addo's National Security Coordinator's operation account? Where did they get it from? Why is that the rest of the operational account they don't want to bring it? What document is it in this realm that the Attorney General should not go and fetch? But it's convenient to hide some documents and bring some. And even those things that they brought, they've removed some of the documents. What kind of trial is this? The Attorney General believes that there are certain documents they don't want to divulge. You know, a court of law should not aid evidence gathering and will challenge it.
However, Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Remsai opposed the request and called for an expedited trial. He indicated that the prosecution will call its first witness when the trial begins. An openly frustrated Atachia pushed back, accusing the attorney.
Listening to the midday news right here on 3FM 92.7. We'll go for a short break. When we're back, we're going to connect with our correspondents right there in the University of Ghana campus and get reactions from students there. Do go away.
Adama for the aba a freezer. Adama, a Quapasamansia. Adama, make some my sorry. Canino, Obo Moasia. I do for Nobium Unum and Sanas and 9. I don't know what we do. Adama for the Quapaman who said, yet the Adruba Cope, a ship will be a high technology. I go for freezer. When Kwan, and once open your 15 letters. No fugum, what's ya no fugum. What the bus here? If we be anywhere, what's your equity self, or Betimono? Then we sure say, women show task here. Then what's enough for now? Freezer, Bumper went up a day. Freezer, Dacia, a basson do so among Ammoniaji. I'm to me. Me what sika. Ti na me di me nyina du be so do mbu. Adama, without Adama no kuya. Adama, you can't resist.
Ubenya Adama West Africa for edwe bi wo baby biara ye ton kra ye ho edwu. Afi kayo na kenkan enchoya ewo edre ho.
Welcome back to the Midday News Radio on 3FM 92.7. Now, the chairman of the National Peace Council, Most Reverend Emmanuel Kofi Fianu, has raised concerns over the persistent election-related violence, warning that it poses threat to national cohesion and democratic resilience. Well, he noted that while the country has made commendable progress in democratic consolidation, the loss of 6 lives and numerous violent incidents during the 2024 elections was worrying, and he spoke during a post-election evaluation dialogue underway in the Eastern region.
We must ask ourselves, why must elections in Ghana, a beacon of democracy in the sub-region, still result in violence and bloodshed? The persistence of election-related violence poses a serious threat to our national cohesion and democratic resilience.
He called on Parliament to expedite action on pending legislative reforms and urged the police to enhance professionalism in their operations.
Parliament expedites consideration of any outstanding legislative reforms, including electoral dispute resolution and political party financing.
Now let's head back to the University of Ghana campus to interact with my colleague George Queening. He has been speaking to some first-year students about the no-fee stress policy and the impact. He joins me on the phone line with more. George, you have interacted with some of the first-year students. What have they been saying about the initiative?
Thank you, Judith, for having me. I'm coming to you live from the Equafo Hall. And this, of course, is coming as good news to these students. And one lady I spoke to, Bridget, for instance, she's offering political science, theater arts, and information studies. For her, there's money. She can keep this money in case where her parents are not able to, fund her next year fees. She can actually use that to offset that budget. And it will go a long way to, enhance higher education. But there are people who think this is a hoax. I've personally seen confirmation of, messages. That's called Ghana Commercial Bank. It's the region of 2,000. And that's, in this very current state, 2,000 quite, colossal amounts of money that can be used for other stuff. And so it's what it is. People have actually shown me text messages. But, when the first year student came in January this year, the portal was open in May. So not all of them were able to, register. So the people that were not able to register are the ones going to be denied access to these funds. But I've been told by some, reliably informed by some students here that the portal is active now, but that they are just going through some challenges trying to, register. So it's been open for people that fail to register to do that. So it should be a part of this very policy that is intended to actually ease the financial burden on these students.
Well, many thanks for your time. George Queening is a man on the ground at the University of Ghana, bringing us all the reactions to some disbursements that have already begun at the University of Ghana campus and in many other regions. The no-free stress policy is already in action, and we're yet to see its official launch later this afternoon. That's how we end the Midday News right here on 3FM 92.7. My name is Judith Brown. A pleasure coming to you this afternoon. Do stay tuned for the rest of our programs. Bye-bye.